I've been muted this entire time. Are you joking? Thank you, Marco. Hello, everyone. I've got to do everything again. Literally again. Are you having a laugh? God's sake. Well, hello, everybody. We're only 6 minutes into the session. Now we have a commentator you can hear. God's sake. Hello, Marco. Might have to put in the description, skip to blah 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 point in the stream for voice. Fantastic. Very good. Alpha Romeo boys both on the mediums here. Alright, so you've... Hello, Leakage, you've got a lap in. Right, okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to GRS F3, Season 6, Round 6, Monaco. I'm sure you figured that out by now, because we've been live for 15 minutes. But if you hadn't, hi, welcome. I'm a good commentator. I'm very good at my job. In all seriousness, I haven't commentated for like a month, and I've kind of forgotten how to do some things like unmute my mic. So, yeah, we got Midnight Monaco on the calendar, that's cool. I really jazzed it up when I was talking to myself and the mic was muted. But yeah, what other league do you know delivers Midnight Monaco in the middle of the calendar? I don't know. But while Harvey Conway's on a lap, I will basically re-explain what I explained to myself. We have a three-way fight at the top of the standings at the moment in F3 between Ferrari's very own John Ahern, who's not attending so far today. I'm not sure if he is at all, to be honest. He leads the way on 71 points. Then you've got Lucas Hodes. Or Lukas Hodes. It might be Lukas. He's on 64 points anyway, so only 7 points behind John. He is racing. Here he is now on a lap. 2.7 tenths up. It's magic. And then we have Zeke Lapidge in the Mercedes. Currently sat P2 on the grid. He's only 8 points behind John. He's on 63 points overall. So, pretty contentious top three. And to be honest, Ross Nyman, who's not racing today either in the Haas, he's only 19 points off the top of the standings. So, pretty interesting, I have to say. So, yeah. We might have rain. Perfect. That's what we like. We like a bit of rain. Alright, here we go then. We have got Jitten Mender on the softs. The only driver not to set a lap yet. So we'll stay on board with the Ferrari driver. Currently sat in a very nice P5 in the standings. Well, actually, no. Yeah, no, maybe. I don't know. He's got 38 points. So yeah, he is P5. Look at that. Magic. So yeah, negotiates the Nouvelle chicane very nicely then. It goes to back. Tight left-hand line there. Kind of want to open that corner up a bit because guess what? There's walls everywhere. Nearly misses that one at the end of the swimming pool section as I run out of breath. That's a wide line. Very, very wide lines. Anthony knows, nearly knew that there was a Ferrari in his barrier, but you have to think, if he'd have not made that mistake, he'd probably be sat around P4 currently. Because that was a very, very heavy braking manoeuvre he had to pull there. Anyone on a lap? Mitch is not on a lap, but he is P2, so that's pretty cool. Jack Cockayne then. He's starting a lap. But is there anyone else finishing a lap? Lucas starting a lap. Mr. Lapidge is on an out lap. One of these Ferraris must be on a lap. Surely Turek is, but I think Torben's a bit further ahead. Nice cut of the chicane there. That's going to be good. He's heading towards the back corner then. Turn 12 of the track. Into this very fast, twisty swimming pool chicane section there as he's looking pretty solid currently, I can't lie, but I can't speak for the rest of the lap, so we'll just have to wait and see. He's coming up to the line. He might punch this in the 10s, and he does, so 110.9. Well, look at that. It's a good lap from Torben. What's his teammate doing? Go on. Machi Turek then. It's on a 12-0 currently. It's a nice little drift through Rascats. Antonino stays out the barrier. DRS open. This is probably going to be a low 11. I'm too good. But it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2 out of absolutely nowhere. My new favourite team after I've lost access to my favourite team seat this season. So Alfa Romeo, best boys. That's what we like to see at the top of the grid. Unbiased commentary here, as always. The top 5. 10.9, 11.0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Let's get a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in here and really make it look nice. Mr. Lapidge then is he's backed out of the lap from the looks of things quite early on here and will now start the rerun, the second album. Marco, this is going to be the best race ever. We're on board with the best driver ever. I'm too good at this. I'm too good at this. Oh, that's perfect. We've got a YouTube short in the bag. Just disciplining F3 chat. Who does not like Midnight Monaco? Come on, it's great. Absolutely fantastic. It's Monaco, but it's dark. What could be better than this? Honestly? Struggling to find anything, to be honest. We kind of lost track of where we're at. Tibor's coming to the line. It looks pretty quick. Probably a 10-7. I'm so good. There we go. It's a 10-7. So, track evolution, driver confidence, everything coming together. Have we got Hardy Conway coming to the line to finish off a lap? Yes, we do. It's 11.6, so a decent improvement puts him up to P7, some 31 thousandths behind Jack Cockayne, who's currently on an out lap. But I think in terms of people punching a fresh lap in at the moment, Mitch in the Mercedes will be, well, he'll be the first one to do it, so we may as well hop on board with him. Pretty nice negotiation there of Monaco's Sector 1. Gets the line and the braking pretty nicely there throughout Sector 2. It's looking tidy so far from the Mercedes driver then. Looking to clinch a very promising grid position here. I'm liking what I'm seeing. This Aston Martin needs to get out of the way and does so just about. Should have a nice clean run through there. Hopefully that did not distract Mitch Snape in the Mercedes, which continues to punch in a very tidy lap indeed here. Little scrape of the wall, but ultimately the minimum speed carried, even with the drift, is pretty good then. Rascas looks quite nice as well. Just Anthony knows to go to wrap up what should be quite a nice lap here by Mitch Snape. And he's put it on provisional pole. Mitch Snape, he's done it! It was a good lap, to be fair. Cannot argue with that. So what's Jack doing? Oh. Jitten's had enough of that one. Sorry for not hopping on board for the completion of that lap, Jitten. I was looking at Jack to see if he could improve, and unfortunately he has not. So all of our drivers should be looking into completing their final runs. I think Jack might just be going again here, as the battery sort of lets you. Well, I'm not sure if our Alfa Romeo driver in front was particularly aware of that. Jack's quite a ways down on time anyway, so I doubt we'll be seeing an improvement here. Then let's go on board with Maciej Turek in the Alfa Romeo. These guys, as a few minutes ago, were provisional P1 and 2. That's not the case anymore. Turek, half a tenth up through Sector 1. Looks to have gone a little bit deep there as he's gone into this twisty section. Hairpin negotiated quite nicely here. 48 as well. You don't want to mount that left arched curb, otherwise you get a tricky traction delivery, the back end of the car not quite knowing what to do into the Nouvelle chicane, then doesn't cut it as much as he could, and it unsettles the car as we're now approaching to back and the fast section of the swimming pool chicane here. Again, just not really liking the curbs, but it's losing him time not taking them. I think you actually do get more stability by taking them, but still, lap's not looking too bad. Should be a decent... oh no, it's not an improvement. Never mind. Lucas to the line then. Well, so 111.6, so he's in the ballpark. An extra, just over half a tenth there, he would have got P7, so unlucky, but at the same time, you know, can't really do much about that. Jitten might be done here as he's, he can't box and do another outlap. Doesn't really look like he's got much battery though. He's not recharging it either. Could go for another run on this set if he so chooses, but I think that 10.6 is looking pretty good. What's he decide to do? He's going for another run, 50% ERS. It's not bad, I guess. We shall revisit. We've got lay pitch halfway through a lap here at the moment. Has invalidated. Will have the time to go again. Anyone else coming up to the line? Turek setting a purple middle sector there, apparently. Maybe he's mounted some curbs. Can he improve? He can by 48 thousandths of a second. Doesn't improve his overall grid position, but solidifies that P5 a little bit more. Probably sad he couldn't get into the 10s, but it's pretty close. It's basically a 10 anyway. So got quite a lot of cars negotiating this final sector. Do we have anyone currently pushing? Well, we've got Jitten pushing at the moment, who we may as well hop off board with. So I've just seen that Tibor here is currently half a tenth up. So if he can find another half a tenth, then he should find a nice pole position here. How was it out the final corner? It was good. There we go. Nearly 2 tenths improved compared to previous provisional pole, as Jitten's got it all wrong. Will not find an improvement. Fuel lights flashing as well. How are our other drivers doing here then? Who have we got coming up? I think Torben coming up to the line there is improved his P4. Doesn't quite get the P3 he may have wanted there as the flag falls. So, Lucas Hodes then will be our first driver. He's 3.3 tenths up on his previous best. That's a nice tight line there through the swimming pool chicane. Raskas looking a little bit wide, but basically always is. Unless you're really, really, really good at the game. This should be a nice improvement from the Williams driver. Championship P2 carrier currently. Lapage not improving. It's an invalidation for him. Mitch coming into the pit box as well. I believe Tibor will probably just take it to the line here. He may have even found more time. This is looking rapid. And it is rapid to 110.2. Jesus Christ. Alright. Okay. I see you. Alright. Jack coming up to the line. 6 tenths found. Takes him up to a very nice P5 there. Obviously, we know that everyone else is already finished. We're just waiting for Jitten on low fuel to negotiate the remaining portion of the track in slow motion. Not that I reckon he's watching the stream, but he can retire if he so wishes. Please don't go into the pits unless you're retiring. We could be here for a while now. Yeah, we're going to be here for a while. People don't know how to retire. Please retire. It ain't happening. And Nestek's here just in the nick of time as well. I'm wondering if the if Nestek would make it. We'll start from P11. Just need to check. Any alerts I need to be aware of? No. Alright, we're sound. Lovely jubbly. Superb. Right then, here we go. Here's our top 10. We've got Tibble, followed by Jitten. Nearly half a second difference here. That's crazy. I was not expecting that with how close the top group were. We've got Mitch Snape, respectable P3, followed by... Come on, David. They're only names. We've got Torben, Jack Cockane. Everyone's readied up. But I've got a stream on my other screen. So then we've got Turek, Lucas Hose, Adam Lepage, Harvey Conway, and someone else. I can't remember. It's raining. I see your comment, Jitten. Fully understand. I get you. I would be in the same position. I thought I'd just announce it. Just in case you knew. Because that way, it speeds the process up. Obviously I can see everything. And the people on the road can't. So that makes perfect sense. I know some people race for the stream open. So I thought if I just mention it, we might be able to speed up proceedings. But something that won't speed up proceedings is this lovely shower of rain. I can't really tell by the pit lane what the conditions are like. Looks like medium rain. I'm expecting inters across the board here. Because, you know, there aren't puddles. And puddles are normally the indicator of full wet conditions. Yeah, we've got everyone starting on inters here, and as it's lights out in Monaco. See how everyone gets away here then, as we've got Jack Cockane up the snuff of Mitch Snape, who gets wayward there. Nestex left the session. Did not make it in time for the start of the race. Unfortunate. There we go. We've got Turek sending a move up the inside of Mitch, who has had a torrid start of this race. Just needs to find a rhythm. It is Monaco. Want to make sure that everything goes smoothly then. But up the front here, we've got Jack Cockane. 1 second behind already as they all negotiate the hairpin. My audio's gone. It's back! It's just the hairpin being rubbish. As we've got some pretty big gaps opening already. Let's get... Yeah, it's Mitch down 3 positions and a few gainers. Nothing too meaningful, but everyone on the intermediate tyres taking things very, very slowly indeed. But look at this! It's dark! How cool does that look on my low settings? Absolutely smashed the camera angle, hey! We're liking this. Torben looking to be the closest challenger so far. We've got Mitch all the way down to P8 now. Not the start he would have wanted, as Mercedes looking to advance on Ferrari in the constructors' standings, as they have the 2-to-1 driver advantage. But in the early stage, it's Ferrari holding the advantage here. Everyone just trying to figure out this track, and there's someone who hasn't. So Jack will find himself at the back of the grid. I think he's actually just letting everyone through. That's a sporting gesture. Very respectable move from him. Bumps both Alfa Romeos up into a very encouraging position. P3, P4 for them. Good constructors' points tally in the making. It's got, you know, 37.5 laps left of Monaco to do before they can cash that in. Mitch getting a move done there on Titanic, who's missing a front wing end play, actually just letting drivers through. I have to say, the sporting nature of our F3 drivers is unparalleled. Just seen 2 different cases of damage and then drivers wanting to let everyone else through so they're not impeding them. That's great. Love to see that. What is this nose cam? It's the helicam again! We're huge! 2 for 2 on the helicam through the swimming pool section. That's what we like. Lepage just lost a lot of time there behind Titanic, so maybe he wasn't letting them through. I'm not too sure, but Lepage now does find himself in what might end up being... Oh no, he's got damage. Not ideal. Maybe an instance between the two, I'm not too sure. We've got some side-by-side action there. Jesus Christ. Both Alfa Romeos now finding their way through on Jitten. I think Jitten's got damage. It's hard to tell. The wing looks intact. But ultimately, he's looking pretty wayward. A bit slow there. It might just be him knocked out of rhythm, but Look at this, a nice camera angle here too. It looks great at night. Really trying to sell this Midnight Monaco thing. I think it's a real winner. It must be really slippery out there, that being said. Track temp, probably not the best right now. What is the best right now is this 5-second lead that Tibble has on the rest of the grid. The pace from the AlphaTauri driver looking really good in these early stages there. Lucas Ho's already picking up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. On track for a disqualification at the moment, and I love saying that. You know, you have bad luck when you see rain in a Midnight Monaco race? Absolutely. Rodgewell, if you really want to laugh, look at, with about 6 minutes remaining, I hop on board with Lapage and call him the best driver ever. And then you might quickly see what happened after that there, as we've got Jitten, unsurprisingly, into the pits. I did not doubt him as a driver enough to think he was just losing that many places organically. We have a bit of a gap between the two Alfa Romeos. I think that's just happened over time. Mitch loving the straight line speed of his Mercedes. Pretty confident overtaking as he makes his way up now back to P5. He's got Lucas 3 seconds ahead of him. So it'll be interesting to see if the Mercedes driver can close in on the leading pack. I say pack very loosely, but you know, Lucas and Jurek are nose to tail like Mitch and Harvey are currently, so it'll be interesting here to see what can be done further back. I'm trying to get coverage of everyone here. The few who have pitted for damage currently. We've got yellow flags here actually, as Torben's retired. Ah, that's not ideal. We've got a VSC in Monaco. I wonder what happened there. Wasn't on board for it. Looks like he may have just lost the car on the exit of the Nouvelle Chicane. Pretty commonplace to do so. You're turning and trying to get the power down. It's hard enough in the dry, let alone the wet. So, could we see any boxes here? I very much doubt it. I don't think... Hello, Mitch. Ever the driver to prove me wrong, mate. So Mitch favouring an alternate strategy here. Maybe he's got some light damage that he wants to fix. Nope, just fancies a fresher tyre set. I don't know how much I rate that move. He's only lost one position, but he was in clear air ahead of Harvey. So now he finds himself what will probably be about 12, 13 seconds behind the Aston Martin driver. And he's, yeah. At least he's on fresher tyres, I guess. Who knows, though? May well be that, I don't know. Rain may stay for most of the race. A normal set of inters might not make it until. So we do have a retirement there from Titanic as well. What on earth has happened there? I thought we collected Jitten, but Jitten's just in the pits. So yeah. That's Titanic getting that one wrong. Chicken. Yeah, I get what you mean. Probably. I think yeah, it's probably been the case for both of them, either inside or outside of the chicane. They've taken them out of the Grand Prix. This does leave us in a situation here where there are only 8 drivers remaining on that 5. Lucas is ghosted. He's had an incident there, and we've got Harvey Conway making the move. Lucas going into the pits. Now, if I'm Mitch and I'm seeing this, I'm probably not a happy bunny. Only now going through Anthony Nose, an entire straight behind Harvey here in the Aston Martin, and Mitch was ahead of him when he boxed. 8-second lead to the front in terms of gaps is pretty criminal, I have to say. This is going to be a hell of a race to commentate. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, for contemplating playing chess. Woohoo. Right, so we may as well stay on board with Jack at the moment, as 2.4 seconds is our closest gap. I've got chills running down my spine. Oh my god. It's great. Whoa, power slide! Monaco drift from Mr. Lapage there. He lit the rears up going through into the hairpin as well. Not looking comfortable in these conditions, it has to be said. But P6, Pretty good. That's 8 points. You finished last in this race. So long as you've done 90% distance, you bag yourself a very healthy 4 points. Maybe even 5 for fastest lap. Lucas may have just dented another Williams front wing. I'm not too sure. It's very hard to tell because the damage is not cosmetic. However, the proof is in the pudding. Ding dong, your front wing is about to be gone. Lucas pulling into the pits then is, well, we've, 3 drivers who haven't boxed this race so far, and they're our top 3. That is pretty indicative of how Monaco goes. You just sort of want to survive. And they have. And look at them go. They're going to get a podium. Unless there's another disaster. There's another helicam though, which I do appreciate. Wowee. Somehow there are 4 other people watching this stream. I appreciate you. Drop a like. Bait more people into watching this. Oh no! Jetting in the wall. We've got a full safety car. It's exciting! Yes! Let's go! Huge. That's what we like to see. Worst decision ever to make this race at night in Monaco. Who made that stinker of a decision? Creative feedback time. What you could have done is watch the calendar reveal and thought, I should probably learn. Just a thought. It's not like we get paid for this. But anyway, we've got 7 drivers remaining in this a race with 10 people shouldn't be called a race. Well, tell that to the Olympics, I guess. Usain Bolt would have nothing. That's a career ender right there. So, I'm expecting Tybalt to... Oh shoot, he's in a bit of a compromised position here. Maybe he chose to stay out. Right, will Tybalt box though? That's the question. He might just choose not to. His pace is pretty good, but I don't know how long this rain has got left. If it's clearing up at all, he might just try to bolt it. Yeah, he is probably just going to try and escape again and box under green flags if necessary. You can do a 0 stop on wet compounds tyres. Not recommended in this game whatsoever. I don't think there's really any way of making them last that long. But let's say it's possible. It is something you can do. Turex looking pretty good all of a sudden on the fresh tyres. Mitch is having a good one. He's up into P2. Thankfully, him boxing under VSC has... it's not turned out to be the worst decision in the world, but it is with a pinch of hindsight. Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much for that. It is raining until the end. Good grief. We may run out of drivers. And that is... It's not a representation of skill. It's the fact that we've only started with 10 and it is wet Monaco. Sod that. I have to respect these guys for just sticking it out so far. Can't imagine that tunnel's particularly fun to drive in the dry with inters on anyway. I mean, yeah, fair play really, but everyone will be able to catch up. I don't even think the safety car's particularly slow around Monaco, not in these conditions anyway, because I think it runs a pretty mixed compound. Burnt Mainlander is contesting for a good amount of laps led in this Grand Prix so far, as he will start his 3rd lap leading this race in the Aston Martin safety car. So Yeah. Aston Martin looking a bit different to the one in P4. Has to be said. Tunnel's the most enjoying part. Actual grip. Oh! Fair enough. I thought it would have been the opposite. I think it might just be me not having the balls to really push my inters. But I guess if track temps are cold and your tyres cool in the rain, lashing them out in the tunnel is probably a bit of a blessing. So I get it. Who are we waiting on? Lucas nearly rejoining the pack. He's trimmed down that 30-second deficit very nicely, and I think we will have the safety car in at the end of this lap, provided everyone else gets a bit of a shuffle on. Shouldn't be too much of a shuffle. I don't want Jack shuffling too much. I did notice that 3-second penalty under safety car. I didn't want to say anything because he was chasing at essentially racing speed. You do not have to drive at 80% speed under safety car in the game. You just follow the delta, then blast it to the queue, and then drive at the speed the safety car drives. I think the safety car will be a bit of a late call. Oh no, it's not. It's just actually a regular call, but everyone will be able to catch up in time. Probably actually better for it to cool when it has. I'm hopping on board with Turek here in the Alfa Romeo. See how good his and Mitch's reaction times are to Tibor's safety car restart. They have a tyre advantage. Tibor braking pretty harshly. Thankfully it was all low speed anyway. Yeah, I sort of predicted he'd go then, but hello, he's got a wobble! Mitch takes the lead of the Midnight Monaco Grand Prix. Now we'll just have to see if he can hold it, because we know Tibor is rapid. But we do have a big gaggle of cars here, something actually to commentate. Here we go then. Look at this. 5 cars within about a second and a half of each other. Mitch has got 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flag. Unfortunate. Indeed. It has to be said. I don't see his inters going to the end of the Grand Prix, so that will just be served in race. Not great. Everyone driving very slowly through here. Probably a nice 25 miles per hour through the hairpins. The slowest corner on the track. Potentially the only one that you absolutely need to take in first gear. Mitch has bolted. Tibor seems to be struggling there on the used intermediates. Jesus! He's definitely cut that chicane, so that's a warning for him. But Mitch on the Tokyo Drift! That's pretty cool. I mean, you got Mitch, who has unfortunately just clipped the barrier. 6-lap-old intermediates drifting through the Novell chicane within track limits. Tibor probably over the cliff at this point on his used 10-lap-old intermediates, braking a bit too late and unable to keep it within track limits. Just goes to show tyre air in this game can be pretty harsh. Or just neutral, yeah. Just roll the car down the hill and just steer. Just don't even throttle. And don't hit the brakes like Latifi, because you will just end up in the barrier under safety car. Tibor is struggling here. I'm wondering if he picked up front wing damage maybe as he squirreled on the main straight. It's a very tidy move by Turek. Tibor leaving the space respectfully as well. So let's see if Turek can chase after Mitch. So we have an absolute queue. This goes back to last place, which I feel weird for saying is only P7. Jack on for a very nice 6 points despite being last. Huh. Further up here then, we've got Harvey Conway. Let's go with a cinematic camera angle here. Unable to get past Tibor, very wisely parking it in the middle of the track. But Harvey's got an overlap now and better traction. Nothing the AlphaTauri driver can do then as Harvey makes his way up into a provisional podium position. Now we've got Lucas Hode, who didn't look to be having the best race so far. Finds himself in a nice looking P5. Again, that's third from last. Tibor pulls into the pits. There was some damage there on the AlphaTauri. Might have stayed out an extra lap to see if he could drive with it, and unfortunately can't. Or There wasn't enough space going into the old right-hander before the hairpin. Who knows? Anyway, Lucas now holding... Well, I thought he was holding Lapidge up a bit, but he's actually holding up Jack Cockayne a bit here as Lucas is finding a bit of a groove. He needs to catch up to Harvey to stand a chance off the podium. Let's see. Oh, Lapidge not giving himself the best line there as he's maybe felt the need to defend that position a bit from a potential lunge. Lapidge not having the best time so far, but again, it's currently sat on 10 points. So that's pretty good. As it currently stands, Lapidge... well, Lapidge and Lucas will both overtake John at the top of the table, but Lucas doing the better job of that so far as Lapidge locking up. Ooh, and that's definite damage for the Mercedes driver. Just not enjoying the conditions whatsoever, so might need to address the brake bias there and just tweak a few things as he's, I'm for sure, going to be pulling into the pit lane and will pop out in P7. Mitch now under pressure in the lead of this race. Turek without the penalty as well. Would just finish ahead of Mitch anyway, but Mitch is 5 seconds caused by the yellow flag on the safety car restart. Will be served in the next pit sequence, which I'd imagine will happen if this rain sticks around until the end of the race. We'll probably see Mitch pull in sort of lap 22-ish. Sort of do each stint fairly evenly. It's either that or when you start getting overtaken, start getting gapped, then you pit early, undercut into clean air. But it's Monaco, baby. We're going to see these people probably stay in the same position for quite some time unless there's any mistakes, because good luck passing round here. Yep. Turek not close enough, that's the thing. Oh, Mitch locking the rears there, has to cut the chicane. It might be an opening for Turek, but Mitch gets ever so slightly better traction. Harvey's just licking his lips here. He knows if these two are coming together, it's an easy run in the lead for the Aston Martin drivers. So, yeah, we'll just see what happens here. Mitch braking nice and early for Raskas. Gets a bit of a love tap there by Turek as Turek following a slightly different line and actually seems to be a bit of a quicker one, I can't lie. So, thankfully doesn't leave him too vulnerable there to Harvey in the Aston Martin. Looking pretty competitive, these two, I can't lie. It's just Mitch will be a bit of an immovable object. There's not enough of a difference in overall delta for these two to just get a move done anywhere. They're going to have to really prepare a nice exit out of what will probably be Portier down to try and overtake through the tunnel and get the move done by the time they get to the Nouvelle chicane. We'll have to see. As it stands currently, no one close enough to punch a move on Mitch. Right then. Take two. Is Harvey close enough to consider a move? I don't think he is. What are these guys doing in terms of ERS at the moment? They've probably got loads. Yes, they do. No one really looking to push too hard, and that is fair enough. Further back, nothing really much happening. I would like to cover these guys, but they're not really close enough to each other currently, and sure, Lapidge is enjoying the fresh tyres, new front wing. Might try and take those at the end, to be honest. We'll have to see. I'm not sure what the wear's like. Never done a wet midnight Monaco before, so God knows. So we're not even halfway through the Grand Prix yet. This is going to be a long... Whoa, dear. Oh dear. Stewards are going to need to have a look at this one. Harvey Conway has just performed a punt and pass on Maciej Turek there. That's not how you want to secure a position, and I would be all eyes over that as a steward. That is it's not what you want to see drivers do. Turek is probably pretty unhappy in the cockpit, understandably, for that one. It's not nice to see someone get tapped out of the way so that the offending driver can just claim the position heartlessly. And that's what the Aston Martin driver has done. And karma has been incorrectly delivered, as Turek is actually the one who Finds himself in the barrier, and I think he might have even donked his rear wing on the barrier there as well. So, not good. However, who this is good for is Mitch. I reckon that Harvey's punt and pass manoeuvre is undoubtedly being penalised by stewards. No question about it. I would be slapping that straight away with a penalty. So, they're both effectively driving with 5-second penalties as it stands. Oh, late pitch. You're scaring me, dude. You really are. Turek in the pits, obviously changing front wing and tyres. Will probably find himself last. I'm sure he'll be able to get past Lapage quite quickly, as he definitely seems to have been struggling. His teammate Mitch, however, quite the opposite. Commanding the second stage of the race quite nicely post safety car. Wants to nurse his into tyres as far as they will go. Not really expecting to see any change of conditions according to chat. Still raining as well. It's quite funny how rain hits the car through the tunnel. It's a bit of an oversight, isn't it? But yeah, rain's still falling here in the beautiful midnight Monaco. Harvey is now on the back of Mitchell thanks to that questionable move. Not going to sugarcoat it. Don't do that. But hey, he's done it. And then Turek has basically paid the price twice for it. Finds himself in P7. Completely undeserved result for Turek. I would imagine he would be quite unhappy, and rightfully so. I'm sure Turek will take those inters to the end of the Grand Prix, and if he ever comes across any form of Aston Martin for the rest of the race, he's going to make life very challenging indeed. Mitch then, 13 laps on his inters so far. Probably wants to take them another 4 or 5 laps before he considers boxing, and will undoubtedly come out in clean air. Or he might actually come out around where Tibor is currently. He's about 22 seconds off the lead. Ooh, Harvey having a bit of a scrape with the barrier there. What a shame it would be if he got damage. Surprised he didn't get damage for hitting the Alfa Romeo, to be honest. But Mitch doing a very good job of just managing this race so far in the lead, making sure not to make many mistakes whatsoever. And only thing that's going against Mitch currently is being in a position where everyone needs to box. I'm sure Mitch would love to get a bit of a subtle undercut, but he has a 5-second penalty hanging over his head. So he gets a nice drift into Rascastle. Look at that. That's pretty good. Harvey's in the pits. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. So this will be, I'd imagine, for a front wing change. It's gone around. It's came around. Mitch now has a very, very nice, essentially, advantage here in the race. Probably just wants to extend his stint by a couple of laps and then box for fresh intermediate tyres. Lucas Hodes might be a bit surprised he's in P2 currently. We've seen just about everyone at the front and at the back of this Grand Prix. Mitch was P8 on lap 2 at one point despite starting third, so now he's P1 again, so it's all happened here. You see P3 to P1 at the end of the race if Mitch finishes there, and you think, oh, he's had a nice race. He's had a better than nice race so far. He finds himself 6.7 seconds ahead at the halfway point. Just has to shrug off this 5-second time penalty that he carries currently, but he's laying down the hammer. The pace is really nice. Very, very marginally losing to Lucas behind, but Lucas does have a very slight tyre advantage. Mitch pulling into the pits now. Wants to make sure he stays ahead of Harvey in the Aston Martin. Will serve his 5-second penalty, get a fresh set of boots on, and see himself through to the end of the race here. I think Harvey might actually come out ahead of Mitch looking at the track map. It would be hard to tell. Mitch might be alright. It's going to be very close on the pit exit then. Let's get on board with Harvey here. Never mind, he's gone into the pits again. Never mind. So, Tibor might be trying to take his inters to the end of the race. Mitch will probably have to find about 5-6 seconds throughout the course of this Grand Prix to get back up to the back of him. But Mitch actually having a separate penalty there. I wasn't expecting that. What was that for? No, he's just got track limits. That might hinder his progress more than I'd originally imagined. In terms of positions gained at the midway point of the race, Lucas Hodes, still with a pit stop remaining, finds himself up 6 positions. Tibor currently down 1 position. He's had a bit of an eventful race anyway. That's not a penalty you want, Lucas. But anyway, Mitch somehow remaining level. Lapage, after everything, he's sat in P4. It's not bad. Does look to have had a bit of a struggle this Grand Prix, but it's holding quite a nice position here. Ooh, locking up, and Jack having a bit of a sniff. I mean, I don't really think Jack was that far alongside. I hope for his sake he's not got damage, but I guess it's a tricky one to read with the driver in front making a bit of a mistake, and you're not quite sure when they're going to actually take the corner if they've locked up, but maybe there's just a bit of a hide in sight there as he's tried another iffy move, really trying to lay the pressure on, wants to get past the Mercedes as quick as possible, losing heaps of time currently. Ultimately, oh, well, you don't want to do that. Well, I was going to say, ultimately, you want to make sure your car remains in one piece, and while it has, that's not really where you want to end up. So Jack moves down to P6. Got Harvey on the fresh inters. Well, again. Oh, hello. Tibble's got a 3-second penalty. That's interesting because Mitch is making huge progress up to the back of the AlphaTauri. He's gained a second. Has Tibble got damage? I think he has. Yeah, no, he definitely does. Look at the understeer. There's no way he doesn't have damage. Unless his temps are screwed. You can't tell with how I've got my camera set up. Mitch setting a fastest lap of the race here. If he can get past Tibble, he's on for a potential maximum. Which would be absolutely massive. I think if Mitch isn't your favourite at this point in the race, you're sniffing something, as Tibble definitely seems to be ailed. Mitch looking to send the mail of, I've got a P1 in the bag. Depends what Lucas tries to do. He might just try a suicide mission and stay out on what are already 15-lap-old intermediate tyres. To do a total of, what, 32 laps? It's not happening. Speaking of things that may or may not happen, I'm sure Mitch will get a move on Tibble. He just needs to be conscious of the fact that he's gained a lot of time on this AlphaTauri. Needs to brake early. Probably earlier than he'd like. While he just sort of figures out where he can make a move. I don't think it's critical for him to just send one as soon as he can. Just race wisely here and try and size up this AlphaTauri. See where the potential moves can be made. As Mitch again locking the rears. I'd up that brake bias by 1. You definitely want to up it in the wets, but it's working for the Mercedes drivers so far. Then as Lucas Hodes finally calls it quits off of those used inters. He's in the pits. He will emerge some 12-13 seconds behind, I'd imagine. He's coming now to the pit exit. We've got 10.5. It's not actually too bad. So maybe it is now a bit critical for Mitch to get past Tibble here. He needs that gap to Lucas and then hope that Lucas has a hard time getting past the AlphaTauri driver as well. Mitch right on the gearbox here. You can just see how slow it is. I am just very quickly just going to see what's going on with Lapidge and Harvey, as they seem to be quite close. I don't think much is going on currently. Is Mitch looking for a move? No, he's not. It's just not close enough at the moment. Forcing Tibor into some mistakes, but Lucas will now start closing the gap. His tyres are up to temperature. He's 11 seconds back currently. We may well see a charge from the Williams driver. I think, I think Harvey was just getting past Lapidge there, as Lapidge has lost quite a lot of time since then. Just trying to hang on most of these drivers. I think Mitch needs to not only get he just needs to get a hurry on, I think. Can't stay behind this AlphaTauri forever. Lucas is closed by the best part of a second already. And that's half a lap, so I can't support Mitch being too careful for too long here. As another mistake from the AlphaTauri. Mitch just choosing not to send it in positions where he probably can. There's a lot of mistakes from Tibor here at the moment. Desperately trying to hold on to this lead, but Mitch, you need to get a hurry on, mate. Lucas is closing in. He's gained another second. It's time to just send the move. You're so close to the back end. It's time to go. Battery on. You're not getting a better chance than this, and you... No, he's not. Just not going for anything. Tibor getting good chicanes as well. He's just creating a gap. You know, Mitch... Oh, he's dinged the wall. Don't think that one was damaged, but he needs to get a wriggle on. Hode's now within 8 seconds of a gap. Closing in rapidly here. Turek though, let's have a look at this. He's on the back of Jack here. Surprisingly, we've got 2 different battles in a 7-lap Midnight Monaco race, so don't think much is being done. Snake needs to get a move done now, because yeah, Lucas is he's on it. Mitch knows where he can potentially make a move. He knows he's strong coming out of Portier. He just needs to chuck the battery on, surprise the AlphaTauri, and make the move stick, to be honest. How is he through here? Yeah, Mitch's Portier is very good. Battery on, it's time. Come on, Mitch. Now or never, mate. But Tibor, I don't think really offered much of a defence, but Mitch just scared to go for it. All the while, Lucas Hode, since pitting, has halved the gap to the front in a handful of laps. Question is if Mitch doesn't get the move done on Tibor, which I think he needs to, yes he does, will Lucas try and send it on Mitch? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Lucas has got more penalties. Oh, let's say there was the time with Tibor making another mistake, but Mitch getting a squirrely back end as well. Really not ideal. So I say, we've still got Turek and Lapidge without penalties, which is pretty impressive considering the Nouvelle Chicane is a menace when it's wet. Lucas Odes is very happy to see that Mitch has been unable to pass Tibor so far. Mitch hasn't got the same run this time. That's Turek into a barrier. Does he have a front wing? Seems to have done there. And you've got Jack, who I think there might have been a coming together between those two drivers, as Jack letting Turek through for something. I'm just not sure what it was. Unsure with that one. Lucas Hodes can very, very quickly be in a position where he can see the other drivers now and really just get that sense of belief that the gap he's closing is meaningful, as yet he can see them clear as day. Hodes is on the charge then. Currently sat P2 in the standings, looking to get another very good result. While Lapage is seemingly struggling in these conditions on this track. It's either that or Lapage is just cruising and making sure he gets to the end. Wants to bag the 10 points he has at hand currently as he's into the pit, speaking of. One more tyre change. On to used inters. He's been in the box a few times, so yep, there we are. You can hear the Williams of Hodes in the background now. Look at this, Mitch basically pushing Tibble through. You need to go. You can't rely on Hodes not getting past and clearing a gap. Mitch just braking early. He's just not wanting to fight. Doesn't want to ruin the result he already has. But there's more to play for. A little scrape at the barrier. I think Mitch has gotten away with it again. There's Hodes behind. How much clearer that is. Last lap he only just saw the rear of the Mercedes going through the Rascasse. Now he's got constant vision of the two of them. I'm sure Hodes will be on the back of them at the end of this lap. Oh, Mitch nearly getting a warning there as he's locking the rears again. We're down to 11 laps remaining after this one. There we are, Hodes has joined the fray. It's now a 3-car train in the lead. I miss Jack boxing for, well, essentially fresh intermediate tyres and probably a front wing after a previous incident with Turek. Well, that's not what we care about currently. We care about, will Mitch actually go for a move? He's got the battery on, but then doesn't continue to commit to the move. He doesn't want to mess up. I'm sure that's the reason. But I don't think Hodes is going to treat this situation with the same level of delicacy, as unlike Mitch, Hodes has got more penalties and he needs to clear these drivers and build up a gap. Tibble tapping the back of the barrier with his rear right, under even more pressure from Mitch, but Tibble feeling somewhat safe with Mitch behind him as Mitch has not sent a single move. Harvey Conway now closing the gap as well behind this train here. Some 8 seconds back with a potential penalty looming over his head after stewarding. But still, I don't think Harvey cares. If he's closing in on this pack, which he is quite considerably, then there could be another factor in this train. I could see Harvey joining this in 5 laps. Mitch right on the gearbox of Tibble once again, looking very, very close. But, yeah, just brakes early. It's a bit of a tank slapper on. Please just up your brake bias. Not just killing me, you're killing your tyres. I just want to see the stable rear end under braking. Maybe that's what Mitch is scared of. Maybe he's scared of sending a move and then his rear stepping out like it did just there through Rascasse, and I mean, you can fix that with your brake bias. Maybe Mitch goes for a move here. I don't know. No, he doesn't. To Tibble then. Let's hop on board with him. See how ailed the AlphaTauri driver is currently. Is 17 lap old intermediates are probably starting to protest, I can't lie. Can't push whatsoever. Ooh, it's gone a bit deep there, but nothing to be made as we've had Lapage spin. Oh dear, that is not ideal. Front wing seemingly intact. I can't say I believe that. It might be. Tyres are probably a bit hot. That's Lapage down to P7 there, as yeah, he's definitely struggling. By far not the best racing conditions for someone to be met with, as Lapage is disconnected. So maybe that was his internet going, I'm not too sure. But he's been boxed. Onto 5-lap old intermediate tyres. His AI will probably get blue flagged. And he will be limited to P7. Which is not ideal. Lapage knows to join back off of anyone in this lobby currently. So I'm sure he will when he gets the opportunity to. Looking back at this front pack here, you can see that Harvey's gained by another 1.5 seconds since we last spoke about him, and the order is very much as it was. So we've got this and 8 more laps to go. I'm wondering how long Tibble's inters can actually go. I know the hards can go for quite some time, but Tibble really looks like he's being careful. So I'm actually just going to get... I want lap data here. I want to see just how much slower these guys are going compared to their personal bests. Oh, Mitch has been overtaken. And Mitch is actually in a barrier there. How has that happened? That just seems like a really weird part of the track to have a spin. That far away from the hairpin. Was there contact perhaps? I'm not too sure. Lucas Hode's getting it all wrong. Somewhere. So he's now 2.3 seconds behind. Has he got damage? That will be a teller. Doesn't seem that understeery. Oh, it does a little bit. Though somehow he still gains with that, so I really don't know. That looks slow. But hey ho. Tibble. Good grief, the understeer. Basically every driver has. This is very disappointing for Mitch, as he's all the way down to P5 now. He's clearly had damage. I have no idea what happened between those two, but ultimately, if there was contact, Mitch will not be a happy bunny. It was a torrid day for Mercedes, all things considered. Turek must be bored. He's 32 seconds off the leading group. So, who's going to win? Tibble might just take it, to be honest. Depending on whether or not his tyres make it to the end. I mean, he's clearly struggling out there. Might be damage, might be skill, might be tyres. I really don't know. Lucas enabling the battery after he starts to fall behind is a bit of an interesting one. Right on the gearbox of Tibble here, a new driver to contend with for Tibble. Used to the very tame nature of Mitch's pressure. What about Lucas Hodes? How much more pressure can he put Tibble under here? Remains to be seen. But it will just be a shootout between the top three for standings, at least provisionally. So we know that Harvey's probably getting a penalty if his incident with Turek's been reported. And depending on whether or not there's any contact between Lucas and Mitch as well. But Lucas does have a bigger penalty. And this is the big thing here. The penalty might just decide everything. It depends if Lucas can clear Tibble and then build a gap. Imagine he can build the gap once he's cleared him, because he's got 10 lap fresher tyres and seemingly a pace advantage at the moment. We'll just have to see. Lucas pushing Tibble through the last couple of corners then. Tries to get on the power. Needs to put the battery on if he wants to go for a move, and he is so. Why? Oh dear. Oh dear, what is this? I might have to punch some blame on Tibor for that one, I'm not going to lie. He just did not leave enough of a gap. And then Hote still went for it, knowing that anyway. So all let's do is decide that one, but that has caused chaos. Harvey just rear-ending Lucas for good measure, being collected in the incident. Hey, maybe Turek wins. That'd be funny. Maybe Mitch wins again, I don't know. Depends if these guys all need the boxes. I'll tell you what, if they all need the boxes, it'd be hilarious. Turek's not winning, because he's in the barrier. That's not great. That's a missing front wing. This is going to be interesting. Harvey just wants to cut the chicane, so that penalty's not getting removed. Oh, and he's in the barrier again. Right, Harvey's not winning. What about Lucas? Easy boxing. No, okay, I guess Lucas is winning. That's cool. Harvey's in. Tibble staying out. Lapage's AI currently looks like the fastest driver on the track, I'm not going to lie. So Harvey pitting on to one lap hold into getting a wing change for like the 65th time this race. It's an exaggerated term, but hey ho. Out he goes to somehow remain P3. So that's cool. I mean, he's got lots of penalties. That's a white line, pit lane thingamajig exit there as well, so Mitch, take notes, mate. If you want to position at the end of this Grand Prix, there's your 5 seconds. To go on top of what will probably be another 5 seconds. Feast your heart out, mate. Turek's in for the nose change. Yeah, Lucas is winning this race, so that's great. And then Tibor is being put under some pressure by Lapage's AI currently. So that's good. I don't think Lapage is rejoining. I'm not quite sure what's happening, but I'm sure it's just internet related. It normally is with him. Right. We've only got a few laps to go. Huge. Really, really huge. Tibor is 4.7 seconds slower than his personal best lap. That's what 23 lap old intermediates and maybe damage does for you. Harvey's going to absolutely set the timing alight with his fresh front wing and his basically fresh intermediate tyres. He's going to go on a rampage. So thankfully in clear air as well, so he can really get the most out of that Aston Martin. Just needs to keep it out of the barriers. It's looking pretty tidy so far. This is a quali run here, so he's actually down on his personal best, so I'm sure he can make it up here in the lovely hairpin. It's the Lowe's hairpin. Look at that. How nice is this? Just gonna watch this, because the only actual fight going on at the moment is between Tibor and a lapped car that's not even here, so we can watch Harvey negotiate the streets of Monaco. And he's doing a pretty swell job so far. Oh Mitch, oh Mitch, someone's tapped the inside wall. All the brake bias has finally caught him out. Jack Cockane will be licking his lips right about now. Alright, I was watching Harvey. Yeah, cool. Come on, get a fastest lap, mate. Woohoo! He's done it. Tibor's been unlapped by Lapage's AI. Now that... Oh, actually, Lapage might just be back in. That's also a possibility. Yeah, Lapidge is back in. I don't know why I thought this was his AI. It's because he's ghosted. I forget they stay ghosted if they're a lap down. So Lapidge is here, good. I'm glad. People not racing anymore. Well, he's not showed up. I don't think he signed up. So no, I guess. He's too busy watching Ipswich Town be second best in the championship. On a squirrely setup, my friend. Oi, maybe there's some rear wing damage that he's been nursing this entire time. I'm not sure. Well, I'm glad to see he's back in the session anyway. Don't care about telemetry, it's Monaco. No one's even racing each other, so that's good. Mitch will probably be racing Jack as he's pitted for another fresh front wing. And it's a case of what could have been for Mitch. Because he was in a very commanding position behind Tibor and then could never quite get the move done on the AlphaTauri driver, and there that then invited Lucas Hodes into the fray. Might have been contact between the two. It was an odd position for Mitch to find himself in the barrier. Ultimately, Lucas Hodes find himself in the most commanding position in this race, nearly 10 seconds ahead of Tibor now. Here I'm surprised to still be on these intermediate tyres. I know obviously Monaco... Oh dear, Tibor. Monaco's not exactly a long lap, so you can expect the tyres to go a bit further, but 25 laps on inters. If they're wearing anything more than 3% a lap, Tibor is in puncture territory. I could see them wearing quite easily 3% a lap. It might be fun to see if he gets a puncture now, I can't lie. New minigame for the remainder of this race, which is in its final lap. Here we are. Will he get a puncture? I don't know. Harvey Conway is sniffing the backside of this AlphaTauri. Look out. He might get moved out of the way. And then past. No. There's the move out of the way and there's the pass. What an amazing move that is. Truly, truly representative of the standards that we like to race under. Beautiful. Just knock him out of the way. They don't matter. They've only turned up out of their own voluntary reasons as well. That's good. We're not watching Tibor anymore because he's not getting a puncher. We're definitely not watching Harvey. You're actually going to skip over him. Boom. There we go. So, Lucas Hodes, after a troubled first section of this race, out of the final corner, finds himself winning his third Grand Prix of the season. Looks like the DNF that he faced last time out in Spain was just a temporary blip. As of the races he has finished, he finds himself 3 for 3 out of the last 3 finishings. Occasions, words. Harvey Conway finds himself in a very provisional P2. I'm sure stewards will change that if things get reported. 2 punt and passes, so 2 potential penalties. Tibor surviving. Same can't be said for Turek. Lapidge will not. Will Lapidge get P6? Because he's a lap down. That'll be interesting, see how that works. Mitch gets P4. But we're saying Tibor surviving for a podium P3. I mean, I'm expecting that to be converted to a P2. There's Jack lighting up the rears, coming across the line P5. Wowee. I don't think anyone really gets it. It was troubled by all. And I feel particularly bad for Turex. His race went downhill after the Bunting Pass. The old Aston Martin special. With these geezers on the podium, they must be very happy. And now they're gone. There we go. So, Lucas Hodes taking the win there with Harvey Conway a provisional P2. Tibor finishing out the podium. Then we got Mitch Snape finding his way back up to P4. Jack Cockayne P5. Matthew Turek P6 and Lepage P7 as it's classified. Turek did not finish the race. It looks like we'll be classified P6 if that's how this works. Cool. Incidents then. Here we go. It's quite a lot for 10 drivers. But it is Monaco. Front wing, front wing, front wing, front wing, front wing. Good grief. Wow. Well, that's really good. And there's the standings. Well, that has been F3 Monaco. Incredible. Very good. So I've been absolutely rinsed in the F3 chat for telling people to not whinge at the calendar, but there we go. Can't always, can't please everyone at the end of the day. You pick your battles, you know. Please the vast majority. Yeah, there we go. So that was fun. We're going to leave it there because it's been an hour and a half. Disgusting. Absolutely horrible. Well, I mean, it was alright, you know. I'm sure it'll be more fun than with more than 10 drivers, but there we go. Should still be classified as a race, in my opinion. Well, hey. But that has been GRS. Drop a like, subscribe, join our league if you really want to, so that would be pretty cool. And then join us Sunday 6 PM UK time and Wednesday 7 PM UK time for versions of this that have potentially more drivers in it. But until then, we will see you later.